All right, here we go. One, two, three.
Game on! Game on! It's gaming time! Excellent! Game on! Game on! It's gaming time! Excellent!
Oh, look at us all. Look at all of us beautiful people here.
Hi.
How are you so tall? How are you so tall? That is ridiculous.
Maybe we're just really short, Pete.
You took your boots off.
No, I've got a box.
We had to get Stormie a lug.
I remember saying last week, I was like, oh, it doesn't look that bad. And then I forgot how tall you guys were. So I'm now standing here.
It's a great lug. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, Stormie, welcome to the studio. You bloody
It's
ripper.
so nice.
It is
so
nice, isn't
good.
it? It's cozy. It's a little bit warm up here because heat rises, and my shoelace is untied. It's going to piss me off.
How are you?
I'm doing really well. It's so good to have you in the studio this week. Although it was fun having Pete trying to do his goodbye
the
thing
arm
last
thing
week.
last week? Yeah, that was pretty
bit
impressive.
of almost green screen magic.
What did I do last
Remember?
week?
I was on the camera.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like
The
this.
wave, yeah.
Yeah, it can't do that today.
No.
Buh.
We could do that.
Guys, God, what a week! What a week of games! What a week of things to talk about and discuss.
A
and
lot.
Yeah, there is so much going on, obviously, which we'll get to. But hello to you, hello and welcome to the Goal Weekly Show. Straight, would you like to do the honours?
Yes, let's get right into it, I reckon. I'm assuming this is the honours that we're talking about here. We're going to talk about some bloody good games of the week.
Oh, my God. Thanks to our mates at Aussie Broadband, bloody good broadband, who help us bring the bloody good games of the week. Guys, have a look at this. This is what I've been playing. This is Sable.
Sable. What are you playing Sable on?
Okay, hang on. Can we just
sorry.
just
I'm
listen to
too
the just
excited. I
listen
just
to the
want to
music
listen.
for a moment? Thanks for turning that up a little bit there.
That's all right. That is some pretty cool music.
All right, bring it down a little bit. Bring it down, mate. That is the music of an American indie rock band called Japanese Breakfast.
Ooh.
That is a cool name.
Who did the soundtrack for this? Now you can see it on screen. For those of you listening to the podcast, just go and jump on YouTube and check out Sable. But this is what I've been playing at the moment. Released September 2021, published by Raw Fury, developed by Shedworks, built on the Unity platform. Now, this is an open world discovery game that you guys can see right now. And you can see it's very artistic, quite cel-shaded. I'm in love with this game so much for so many reasons. And the stuff people are seeing on screen right now is so far ahead of where I am. I'm only about 3 or 4 hours into this game. It's a puzzler. It's a platformer. It's open world exploration. It's obviously an indie, which is a big tick for us here at Goa.
So you're saying 3 or 4 hours into it?
Yeah.
For an indie game,
Well,
that's still pretty big if you're 3 or 4 hours into it and you're not.
And I think there's still a long way to go as well. You can hit pause there straight. I think there's a long way to go in this game as well. And you're on a journey of discovery in this game. So the character that you saw on the screen is a young girl. You're in a desert sort of planet by the name of Midden, Midden, and you're on a journey of discovery, journey of self-worth. You're trying to find yourself a mask, but an appropriate mask, a mask that fits so you can get back to your nomadic tribe and join the tribe and stuff like that. But it is just a beautiful game. The thing that I love about this game the most is that it's just so chill. I love the exploration element. I'm really getting into exploration games at the moment because it's just nice to not feel like I've got a rocket up my ass. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Elden Ring for quite some time there, right? And it was good, but it's also very stressful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's always something coming at you.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, all right, get out there. What can you go and find? A couple of little things that I sort of noticed along the way. I was playing on the Xbox Series X, was downloaded through Game Pass. It was a little bit jittery at times. There was some frame dropping issues. You know, it can get a bit stuttery. But you know, aside from that, you look past that, and it wasn't too bad. And there was occasional spots where you get stuck, like you jump in between like a ledge and like a wall or something, and it floats. Like she'd just float for a little while, and you can't get out of it. But aside from that, like, you know, a couple of little glitches. This is my bloody good game of the week. It's Sable. It's on Xbox Game Pass. It's on PC. It's on a heap of other platforms as well, and I recommend you go and play it because it is beautiful.
So when you're saying it's like an exploration game, are we talking like Tunic exploration? Because that burnt me out pretty quick.
Yeah,
that was a good exploration game, but it explained nothing. Do you at least have like you're going in this sort of general?
You've got a lot of help. You've got a lot of help. You know,
right.
you know in Tunic how you were constantly updating your compendium, right? Like you're constantly updating the instructions. You're finding things. You're figuring out how to use them. You're backtracking a lot as well and going back over places, you know, like a little bit Metroid-esque in that sense, or the Metroidvania styles genre. You're not doing that in this. Like you've got a compass that you can always bring up. There's always your waypoints that are on this compass as well. And you've always got which direction you're meant to be going in next.
That's good.
It does start off a little bit slow, I will admit, but once you get your bike, and I'm like I said, only a few hours into it, and I'm hoping by the way that it sort of has started to play out, that, you know, you get to upgrade, because the bike that I've got is giving me the shits because it just doesn't move fast enough.
Yeah.
It's got smoke like billowing out of it. I imagine is, you know, it's just your basic bike. You get to know the game, and then you'll get into it. You'll make upgrades to it and stuff like that. But this didn't tire me out at all because I never found that I was actually ever backtracking anywhere, having to retrace my steps and stuff like that.
You didn't feel lost at any point?
No, and like no matter where you go, there's always a sense of, what am I just about to discover over this ridge? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's that. Yeah. So there's a lot of that. Definitely no tiring, and certainly like we're in winter at the moment. Bit of rain out, outside, like an evening or a morning or something like that. Chill, you get your coffee. Oh, just chef's kiss. That's my bloody good game of the week. What do you got, Stormy? What's happening?
Well, my bloody good game of the week is Nintendo Switch Sports, because. Well, actually, quite a few reasons. So this is, I'm sharing my copy with my family because I've mentioned before in the past, I love any games that I can play with my little sister, my mum, just anyone in the family that's just willing to give a game a shot. And with something like Switch Sports, like I think my mum still has the Nintendo Wii at home. And the only reason why we've kept it is because of Wii Sports.
Yeah,
so as soon as this came out, I was like, yep, like we're getting this, no questions. We're going to play it straight away. And it's really, really great. I really, really like it. It still feels really familiar. Like you can't get too different with like tennis and stuff like that. But funnily enough, and I feel like I have to shout her out here. So for Mother's Day, I brought this around when my nana was over, so my mum's mum. And she beat us in her first round
You're
of
joking.
bowling. No, for real. Which was just like insane. We're like, what? Like, obviously, we didn't doubt her for a second, but it was like her first time. I think one of the first times she had used the Joy-Cons and stuff as well, and she beat us all. And it was really, really good. So I think that's one of the things I love about Switch Sports, or just family Nintendo games in general. Like, they do become quite accessible and like quite friendly to approach for people who don't typically game as well.
Yeah.
There are some good challenging games in Switch Sports as well that I quite enjoyed. So my sister and I admittedly played a whole hour of I think it was badminton. It was either badminton or volleyball, because it's very timing based. And so much so that we actually got like a warning on the Switch game saying, you've played for an hour, you should take a break. And we were like, no, we're going to beat the toughest AI on here, and we're not going to stop until we finish. And we did it. And my arm was actually really sore the next day. I felt really bad for her because she had like a sports carnival the next day too.
Yeah, she's young, she can take it.
Oh yeah, I was like, she'll be fine.
Sorry, you guys keep going. My daughter's here with us at the moment. She's off screen. She needs to go to the toilet.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
But I've got questions about this because I'm seeing things right now on the video
Yes.
that we're watching, and it just looks like there's so much more packed into this game.
Yes. I'm still yet to try the online multiplayer stuff, which really appeals to me just for the sake of having some cool cosmetics to put my character, admittedly. And they've also got some really cool, almost battle royale style bowling that I'm yet to try as well. But yeah, no, really, really fun. The only sport that hasn't really captured my interest though is the football or the soccer. I've had the leg strap, and I guess it's good because if you have Ring Fit Adventure, you've already got a leg strap as well, so you could have two people playing at the same time. But it just doesn't have the same excitement, I guess, as the other sports for me.
Well, I think I saw as well in the trailers for these and whatnot. It was the leg attachment could only be used for there was like a kicking soccer mini game and can't be used in the game itself yet.
Yes. Well, actually, now that you've said that, I've only done the shootout mode, which I think is what you're referring to. I haven't done the actual game yet. But yeah, I mean, my favorites are always tennis. And then again, I don't know, like my Nana's pulling out like the big shots. Like she did one of those really fast like serves. And we all looked at her, like we all turned around and we were like, how did you do that? She's like, I don't know. She's like, I don't know. I just did it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Raven. Maybe it is beginner's luck. Just having a look at the chat at the moment. I think maybe it is. But yeah, I don't know. Switch Sports, I feel like I think in my opinion, is going to be the new staple for people who are buying the Switch console in general.
I think as well, a lot of people have really fond memories of Wii Sports.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned how your Nana was getting into it, and that's like the Wii got into so many like nursing homes because it's stuff like that. It could be an activity that the elders could do and not like really strain themselves.
Yeah,
and it was just easy and it was fun.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's very approachable, and I think that's what makes it so appealing to people of all skill levels, like gaming wise. But yeah, you can see like on the screen at the moment, the customization's quite fun. You can give yourself a cool little title, cool hair, and then obviously you can get more outfits and stuff, I believe, as you progress in the online space. I'm not a fan of the Mii characters personally, which I'm actually surprised that I'm saying because I loved the Mii characters on the Nintendo Wii. So I actually do like the new style of the characters you can play as, and yeah, really, really, really fun. I know Pete has a few questions about the sports and stuff too, but there's quite a few sports games I feel like coming out for Nintendo at the moment, like Mario Strikers is coming out soon, and I'm quite looking forward to that because I think I read somewhere there hasn't been one in like 15 years.
I'm trying to remember, I remember
Nintendo Wii?
I'm pretty sure there was one on the GameCube. There may have been one on the Wii as well.
Or
but
some type of strikers. So yeah, I think it's interesting to see. Like for me, the playing Mario Strikers appeals to me more than potentially playing the soccer on Switch Sports. But then yeah, they've got golf coming up later on as well, which I think I do remember playing a lot of in the original. But the only thing they don't have on there, which I know a lot of people were, well, not a lot of people, but I had some people say to me they wish was on this one, was the boxing.
Yeah, the boxing is an interesting one. Like, I don't know why they would have taken that out. Well, I guess with the Wii, though, you had the nunchucks, you had the two hands, whereas most people, when they buy a Switch and they've just got the two Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
So, and if you're playing with friends, you're sharing them around. So I guess you could do it like an online boxing.
Maybe,
I guess. But
yeah.
No, I think just the second controller was probably the thing there.
I don't know how it would work, but I think there is obviously more. I can see them doing like a winter sports, you know, like kind of how like Mario and Sonic, you had like normal Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and then they did the winter sports and stuff too. It'd be cool if they maybe did that later as like an expansion or something like that. Also, DJ Drifter, thank you for the sub as well. Thank you so much.
And thank you for the raid as well. He did a raid with 10 people early on. And Sticks as well, I think, came in with a sub. I think I saw some people. Yes, 52 months.
Ooh.
That's Sticks. He's an OG here.
I've just stolen Pete's iPad for a little bit so I can see. Basketball, Gamma says, would be cool. Boxing is directly head-to-head with another character, can be considered violent compared to the other games. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nintendo, like, I always have a laugh when it comes to Splatoon, because Splatoon is a very Nintendo shooter. Because the object of the game isn't to shoot other people, it's to coat the walls in paint.
Splat them.
Yeah. But no, it's not. It's just about covering the walls in paint. And whoever covers the most territory wins. So it's not about killing people. It's about
Maybe when my sister taught me, we got the wrong idea because she was definitely coming after me. She wasn't coming after the walls; she was coming after me.
Don't get me wrong. People are still going to do that. They're going to bring out that big ass roller and just crush people as they go through. But yeah, no, I'm like I've been a little bit on the fence about Switch Sports, but it's one of those really cool multiplayer sort of titles that. And I will give Nintendo full credit for bringing back the couch co-op stuff. Like I've been missing that for so long. The online stuff is cool and all, but couch co-op, I love doing that.
Have you got Switch Sports? Are you planning on getting it?
I'm definitely planning on getting Switch Sports.
Yeah.
I'm back. Just quickly, Sticks 52 months subscription. Thank you, you bloody legend. That's a hell of a streak. I think that might actually be the longest streak.
He is. I think the next one is Gamma or Simi?
Yeah.
Wow.
Might be Simi, I think.
Yeah.
And also, a big welcome to DJ Drifter once again. He subscribed for 2 months. So thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
And Captain Avari getting in there, 38 months. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at the legends.
There we go. Gamma's just said Simi then me. So here's yes, I will 100% be going after this. No doubt in my mind, especially because I've got the kids at home and all that sort of stuff. But there's an added element to this that speaks to the 90s gamer in me, and that is the element of like being able to muck around with the sports and do some things to them. So I was like watching that video there before, like I noticed that, it's not just standard bowling, but you can actually throw some, I don't know if have you guys spoken about this?
Not
we
yet.
haven't.
Right, so you
did
can
play it.
like you can put in platforms and gaps and all of that sort of stuff, so you can add a little bit more skill to it. I noticed when they were playing soccer, there was like big ball mode and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like so this to me, like it speaks to the 90s gamer in me, like I see that and I go, okay, this is my GoldenEye, big heads, bazookas in the basement, real party mode vibe.
Yeah, I actually got to try that bowling mode that you're talking about with the obstacles.
Yeah.
Because it happens randomly. It will just give you a random course, so you don't know which one's going next. And they've got things like little hills that you don't. Sometimes if you're not looking properly, you forget to give it a little bit of power.
Right.
Or gaps or like traveling obstacles and stuff. You have to make sure you get the bowling over, which just brings something like fresh to it. And I think one of the best things they did with bowling this time around is that everyone can bowl at the same time. You'd have to do one at a time.
Oh, that's
little
good.
change.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I really liked that. So you didn't have to sit down, wait for that person to bowl, then go next. So that was good, being able to do it simultaneously.
What am I going to be able to do when I'm having drinks with mates at home and I want to sit down, have a drink and laugh at people?
Be quick.
You got to be quick.
All right, get through my frames first and then I'll sit
Or
down.
you do the thing that we did, which was really mean, and you make someone in an obstacle course go first, and you just act like you're planning, and you watch them do it, and then you plan around it.
Can you throw your bowling ball into
Backwards?
somebody else's lane?
No.
You can't throw it backwards?
No.
Oh, that's balls.
I know. That was the best part.
There was other little things, right? So like I'm obviously going back to, for me, like I played Wii Sports, right? So the original back in the day, is the little wrist flick trick still there for tennis?
Oh, with this fast?
Yeah,
I
so-
haven't mastered it, but I did say while you were gone, my nana served like one of those really fast ones, and I was like, how do you do that? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, that's not helpful, but I think there is a trick.
Your nana's hackers.
I know.
Because I remember like when I used to play Wii Sports, like you wouldn't even have to lift your arm. You could just like hold your arm next to you and just do like a little wrist flick, and up it would go, and then bang, it would come down and it would go straight through. But no, it does look like a lot of fun. It just looks like a really cool party game.
Yeah, it's really great, for sure.
Straight, what about you, buddy?
I have a game, but just before we go on, Gamma, thank you for that gift sub to Arion, another legend, and we've got a few little biddies going on.
What's
Raven,
level 2 hype train?
We're on a level 2 hype train right now as well, you guys. You bloody rippers.
bloody good. But yes, my game of the week came out on Friday, and I wasn't going to get this one. I was sitting back for a little bit, but I did end up getting it because it looked pretty fun, and that's Evil Dead game. Like I haven't played those sorts of team games like I think not Left 4 Dead.
Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight. Haven't played those sorts of ones before, but big fan of the Evil Dead series, and anything that's got Bruce Campbell in it, I'm there for. All right. I've only played as the human characters in it so far, and really only one because you can level up the character. They've got different, like there's different abilities. There's support characters. There's hunt. There's melee. There's ranged, and then there's like a leader that gives a buff to everybody else in the team. And each person can choose one of those. And it's a team of 4 that you play for there, and each of them will have different weapons as well. Like Bruce Campbell's character Ash can pick up the chainsaw, which obviously only goes on his hand, not on. Yeah, it's like iconic there. And the gameplay of it is that there's one other player who's the demon, right? And they're trying to stop you from basically killing them. So it starts off, you've got to find 3 bits for a map. And once you got the map, you find a page from the Necronomicon, which for those that know the series, that's like the Book of the Dead that all the demons want. And then also the Kandarian dagger, which can kill the demons. And then after you got that, you can go and kill the demons. They disappear, but you've got to protect the pages of the Necronomicon from any other demons for while the timer runs down. And when I put it like that, it sounds really kind of just straightforward and bland and boring, but it's not, because the demon has a whole heap of stuff that they can do. So they can possess you. Each character has a fear meter, and if your fear gets up too high, then the demon can possess you and like take you and attack your mates.
That was brutal just then.
So we just saw, what's his name? Who's the main character? Ash. We just saw Ash with a shovel, shove it into some zombie's neck and then hammer it a couple of times through his neck and rip his head off. Is there a dude running around in like medieval garb?
Yes.
Who is that dude?
So this is the interesting history of Evil Dead. There's basically, to start with, there were 3 movies. Like there was Evil Dead, then there was Evil Dead 2, which was sort of half a retelling of the first Evil Dead, and then a little bit more story. And then there was Army of Darkness. Now the first one was really horror. The second one was sort of if Tim Burton did the first like Evil Dead movie.
So Tim Burton, like the original Batman movie.
Yeah, it was a little bit campy and whatnot. And then there was Army of Darkness, which is Ash gets sent back in time, and it's like full-on slapstick comedy. And it's just like so different to everything else. But he's back in time there, and that's where the knights come in. So these are characters from Army of Darkness.
Yeah, I always wondered that too. I was like, there has to be some explanation as to why there's just a dude in armor just running around.
That's where he comes from anyway.
And this is all online multiplayer as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it does have a surprising amount of single player stuff in it, but I like challenges and things like that. I tried one of them and then just went, I'm not here for single player stuff just yet. I want to do the multiplayer, so I jumped in and had a good. So it's got built-in voice chat. So you can talk to your team and whatnot, which is good and bad. I played against one guy who was playing on console, and he was trying his best and he was trying to communicate with us, but his microphone was just picking everything coming from the TV. So I was hearing myself in the game and whatnot. But because it's cross-play as well. So I was on PC and he was on PlayStation. So, but yeah, I was having a really good time because you start off with nothing and you go around, you find your weapons, and you can level up in the game as well.
Rather than wait after a match to level up your characters?
You also get that as well, but there's like stuff you can do inside the game, inside a match that will level you up.
So you're saying so the four characters together, cross-play co-op, and then you're taking on one demon who's also being played by somebody else. Yep. Right? Is this like Evolve? Like, do you guys remember? Did you ever play Evolve?
I know of Evolve.
Yeah.
Evolve was sick. But the thing that I found with Evolve is that it became very tiring very quickly. So the cycling through the monsters and the cycling through the map. So if you're listening to this, or you're watching this, you never played Evolve, it was essentially that premise of there's 4 of you, and you cooperatively take on somebody else, right? And there would be 5 of you in the one instance. You'd all load into a map. You wouldn't know until the map was live who was playing who was the one big monster, and who was the, and then once you're in, you could choose sort of bits and pieces, players, monsters, avatars. But it got very stagnant very quickly because there was only so many things you could do with the monsters. There was only so many maps to cycle through, so many monsters to cycle through. Do you think this has got more legs on it?
I think it does in terms of you choose what you want to play at. So you either choose to be a human or you choose to be the monster.
Yeah.
So you've got that choice there, and if you like one play style over the other, then you're going to have that you can go with. The map itself, honestly, I haven't noticed it changing, but the stuff you're chasing randomly spawns in different spots. So you have to search the map and find out what's going on there. But I could see it getting boring fairly quickly if there's not more coming out. But they've already said there's more like character packs and stuff like that coming for the game.
Well, I've got like a follow-up question to that too, because I'm a big Dead by Daylight person. Like Dead by Daylight's just had their 6th anniversary, I think, this morning. And I was talking to a mate of mine, and we're obviously quite familiar with those online multiplayer horror kind of games, especially ones that have things like skill trees and upgradable characters. Because what we were deciding was, because I guess Dead by Daylight had this, I wouldn't say an issue, but like it was kind of grindy. Like it was very grindy. Is Evil Dead similar, or do you think it's a bit more easy to obtain that progression of your character as you go? Because I guess there's two sides to that, isn't there? Like you can either have it too grindy where it feels impossible to reach a certain point, or if it's too easy, you're going to get bored of it pretty quick. Like where do you think this kind of sits in between the two?
It's not feeling grindy to me, but I've only just gotten into the game, so I'm still sort of playing around with it, finding what it, and I'm sticking to one character at the moment because I want to get used to this character before I go on to something else. One thing I should mention as well, each character has one unique ability that's unique to them. So like the support character has a healing thing, so you get healed under their like aura type thing, and the character I've been playing has an ability where dodging doesn't cost you any stamina for a short amount of time. So it's, I don't know. I don't think I've played it quite enough to answer, is it grindy yet? It doesn't feel like it. Yeah.
Great excuse to play more of it.
I think that's it. Yeah, I just got to play more.
Play more of it.
Arion says he still wants a full-blown campaign for Dead by Daylight. And Gamma says they need Lucy Lawless's character from the TV series in it.
That would be cool, but she was a demon in the TV show, so
was she?
Yeah, so I'm not sure how that would go. But just one thing, because there's, from what I haven't played Demon yet, but from what I can gather about demons, there's sort of 3 different types of demons that you can select going in, and there's one that makes me shit my pants every time because it gets to a certain spot and it just throws up on the screen these screaming demon faces, and it's just like, Jesus.
So did you get a few jump scares in your?
I got quite a few jump scares, and see, the thing for me is like I like playing in the dark. So I'm sitting here.
That makes it worse.
I'm sitting here with my headphones on in the dark. The only light in the room is from my monitor, and all of a sudden I get these screaming in my ears, and the faces coming up, and the poor people on the voice chat are learning some incredibly creative new words.
I don't know how you do it, man. I can't. I hate horror at the best of times. Let alone like playing stuff in the dark and whatnot.
Well, this is sort of more like, to me, it's not super scary. Like
it's a bit more fun, scary.
Yeah, that's it. And especially when you're doing it with voice chat and you're talking to people, like there's a lot less scariness there because you're talking to people. That's right.
You're not on your own.
Here. I'm not on my own. I'm okay.
Okay, so that's our bloody good games of the week.
Yes,
I like that.
Thank you, Aussie Broadband.
Thank you, Aussie Broadband.
Thank you.
Bloody good broadband. And thank you very much for pumping the internets into our studio as well. God, look at us, guys.
Look at us.
Look at this.
What a good team.
Good looking roosters.
We're doing all right. All right, mate. What do we? So take us into this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. So as you know, ABC has got a few different channels that they do, a lot of different radio stations. They've got a classical station, and they've been doing a top 100 music for the screen. So this is TV, movies, and video games. So I came across this. I think I stumbled onto it on Twitter, and I went through it, and there is a significant number of video game songs on there. It's really cool. Like they had the theme from Ocarina of Time, and when I think Zelda, I think like the classic. Yeah. Now this is the opening thing. So when you first boot up the game,
and it's bring it up. You got to bring it up. Even if we don't have to switch screens or anything, you should be able to just play it and we'll hear it. I'll pump it through the channels here. This is, oh God. I mean, for me, right, this is 90s gamer vibes again, because obviously, you know, Ocarina of Time was like 96, 97, thereabouts. And like it might have even been 98, 99. I still remember, and I can picture it perfectly, where I was like sitting in the living room and I put the gold cartridge in for the first time, and then I hit it, and like up it came. Just hit YouTube. Like if you would just go with like YouTube opening, opening titles, and you just saw. Bring it up. I'm not going to do it justice by.
Did you want me to type it? Is that
talking
easier?
about it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Is it Ocarina?
Yeah, Ocarina of Time opening theme.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Is that 10 hours of the intro?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Why not?
We're going to stay here for the 10 hours of it. Listen to that.
Yeah. But like the version that they've got on the ABC site is like full orchestral.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not like the N64 version of it. It's full orchestral. Like,
You're
it
bringing up
sounds
the
amazing.
ABC site, right? You're like, go for it. Go. Don't mind me. Tell me to shut up and piss off. Like, bring up the ABC site. Do what you were doing before.
Because I have to log in to get to it. So we'll just do this. That's easy enough.
Oh.
But yeah, it's...
I still remember.
Yeah.
And I remember watching like Link on Epona, you know, galloping, and like it's so amazing because the moment you get into the start screen for Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and you see all of that, that's not what you're greeted with when you start the game.
No.
So like immediately, right? And I know they knew what they were doing. Immediately, they gave you a sense of you've got a lot of game to play here. You know what I mean? So what were you going to say, Stormy?
No, I was going to say, like, just talking about hearing, like, an orchestral, like, theme of, like, you know, your favourite video games and stuff. If anyone in Perth ever gets to see the West Australian Symphony Orchestra and their gaming nights that they do, they're absolutely incredible. Like, you get chills. There's nothing like hearing it live. And it's such a nice feeling because you know you're around like other gamers as well. That's like, oh my gosh, it's, you know, it's the theme from, you know, XYZ.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I know like orchestras in other cities and stuff do it too. So do yourselves a favor. If you ever see them do a gaming night, gotta go.
Have you ever watched them do a movie with the full orchestra?
Multiple times.
Yeah, I saw one of the Star Wars movies with that, and that was beyond measure.
Indiana Jones, I think all three of the original trilogy of Star Wars, and just recently Casino Royale.
Hectic.
Beautiful.
So good.
Yes.
Sorry, mate. Continue.
But yeah, there was just a whole heap of video game music on there. I think Assassin's Creed was on there. I think there was a Metal Gear Solid one on there too. Definitely give it a look and check it out and vote for your ones because I'm curious to know what everybody's like musical tastes are. And here was the hard thing for me because it's not just video games; it's TVs and music. And like, big Star Wars fan, big Indiana Jones fan. John Williams as a composer is, like, we're talking about chef's kiss, man. He's like, he did the original Superman, like the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. He did the theme to that as well. So I did a search for him, and he's got like 30 songs in this.
He'll take up so much of those charts alone, just in movies.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through them. Classic piece of music for you, like, and thinking gaming. Let's go around the table. What would you throw into this thing? So let's hit stop on the Ocarina of Time music. I suppose while we're on this, I may as well just keep us on this theme, right? Okay, so for me, can you put in Gerudo Valley? Can you also put in, and I don't know if this will work, but if you can put in Gerudo Valley, and put Epona Jumps, bridge, and let's see if that actually Epona Jump.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, let's see if this works and if this is what I'm after. Okay, so this is the music that I would put on this from a video game. Right, so like you can see right now, you've got Epona, and here's the big jump. You're jumping Gerudo Valley for the first time, and you make it across there. Now, I remember, I remember where I was when I played this moment, and it was such a huge moment in games for me. It gives me goosebumps watching it every single time because when you play this game, you can get to this side of the bridge quite early in the game. And you just spend a lot of time sort of looking across it going, oh, I wonder what's over there, you know? And it's not until you get Epina, which a lot of people know is sort of like midway through the game, after you go to Lon Lon Ranch and you do the race and all that sort of stuff, and you get Epina, and then you can finally make your way back here, and then you can get over the top. So this, paired with this piece of music, is so cathartic for me that I'm like, put this on your 100 list. Thank you very much.
Please and thank you.
Jimbo?
Oh, mate. Keeping with the Nintendo 64 theme here, you cannot go past Rainbow Road. Excuse me while I reach over.
Oh, do you want me to?
Oh, if you could.
The 64?
Yeah. Oh, there you go. It comes up. First result.
Which one do you want?
Just the first one's fine. But yeah, it's...
Surely that one.
It's got to be that one.
Yeah,
It's got to be
I
that one.
thought so.
Do it. Do it.
Oh,
Do it.
God.
Oh, no. What have you done?
Oh, you opened the
no.
playlist. There's a playlist of them.
Oh, no.
Ads.
I've
If
muted
Dan
it.
was here, he'd know. He'd be like, ads.
Okay, here we go.
But yeah, this music, man. Because it's epic. You've gotten through all four... Well, because I always start when I get a Mario Kart game. I start on the first cup, and I go through that, and I win that one, and then I win the second cup, and the third cup. And on Mario Kart 64, this was the Star Cup. This was the last race. And you get to the last track in this one, and it's this music. And it's a 10-minute track. So you get to hear this a lot. But it's epic.
It's epic music, and like coupled with the visuals of, you know, the Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road track, and you've got fireworks popping off in the distance, and oh man,
And I will never forgive Mario Kart 8 for making it a segmented track. So you only have to do one lap of Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
Instead of doing 3 laps of the full thing.
Nah, that was a shit show. Honestly,
was.
like that was the most ridiculous piece of ass that Nintendo could have come up with. Because I wanted to see, like, Mario Kart 8 gave us the opportunity to have that track in high definition. Like, you know, like a 2020, I can't remember when it came out, it was a few years ago, but like a today, now version of that damn track, and then they don't give you enough of it. Anyway.
Actually, I will say it's not the worst travesty for it. Because
What is the worst travesty?
the worst travesty was Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U not having a proper battle mode.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah,
But
100%
Mario
right.
Kart 8 Deluxe fixed that. So was happy with that.
Stormie, please pop yours in, because this is a belter.
Okay, can I just... I did think of a few more that came to mind before the one I'm about to show you. Because I was thinking about other themes that I think get chills down my spine, as well as this one. Don't be mean.
Play it.
No, in a minute. But, you know, you got the Halo thing.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Even The Witcher, like, I hear that a lot when I've been playing the games and stuff every week. But there's just nothing that beats this sound.
This is classic. This is classic. Spending hours in your room, or like wherever the TV was with the Nintendo Wii,
So just I think
creating your me.
I think about the hours that I've put making like every single member of my family.
Yeah.
Or like just other random characters and stuff on the Nintendo Wii. And it's just such a good tune. And I don't know, even that and the Wii Sports theme as well is also really good.
Oh, girl,
I
this is
don't
a
know.
vibe.
Yeah.
This is a vibe.
Yeah, it's good. It's really, really great.
Why is this not on like a lo-fi soundtrack somewhere?
Yeah.
know, man.
Oh,
It should
man.
be.
I don't know. It's just so chill. It's really, really good. I mean, I'm really personally interested to know if this will even chart on the ABC 100. I don't think it will, but
think it should.
I think it
Yeah.
should.
And if it doesn't there, then we're putting it in for the Triple J Hottest 100.
Oh
Hell
my
yes.
god! Could you
Hell yes.
imagine?
Yeah.
Are we a small enough media outlet to just say we're all voting for this and we should encourage everybody to?
Absolutely. CN Resident says Sephiroth's theme, One Winged Angel.
Yes, One Winged
Which,
Angel.
yeah, can we bring that up? Put in Sephiroth theme. That should come up because that's a great one. If you're watching this right now, like, let us know what you'd like to see. Yeah, here we go.
I don't think I've actually heard this. Or maybe
It's epic.
It's so epic. Final Fantasy VII. Like this is that classic, like, you know when you're playing a game and you're sort of just going about your thing and then that music kicks in and you know you're about to have your ass handed to you?
Yep.
Yeah, this is classic that.
Oh, I thought of another one.
What?
The
Go
Crash
on.
Bandicoot theme.
Oh, you go on, put it in.
I feel that's a good one. Well, not even the theme, but like the I feel like it is.
The first one?
The first one.
Ads!
I do.
Mind you, that's KFC.
I do
that's not
remember
that
because
bad.
hold on. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really,
Classic.
doesn't it just make you smile?
Yeah.
Very Looney Tunes.
We're all
I love
we're
it.
all
It's
head
good.
bopping right now.
I can't hear it, but I'm imagining it's pretty good.
God, I tell you what, maybe it's, I don't know, like we've got great themes now, don't get me wrong, but maybe they all just sounded better on 64-bit platforms. Who knows?
Well, I think it's because nowadays music is sort of more background in a game. Like you don't get a big theme. Like probably the one that sticks in my mind a bit more these days, and it's only because I'm a huge fan, but Breath of the Wild. And that theme is there mainly because there is so little music in that game. But the theme when you emerge from the Shrine of Resurrection and all of a sudden the big whole world's there and there's just that little piano bits playing and it's just so understated. I think it's, yeah, and I just think with other games, it's not quite the same anymore. Like there's just sort of generic.
Well, it's almost like cinematic, right? Like these games were so, it was just so playful. Or maybe playful's the word for it. Now, like we were kids at the time. I don't know if that's got something to do with it as well. But you know, like I could sit here and I could listen through Conker's Bad Fur Day. I could listen through Crash Bandicoot. I could listen through Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. I just felt like we had a lot of it was just playful. It was just good playful themes, and they suited the time. These would not fly in this day and age. Not a chance. This is just wrong sort of stuff, wrong sound, wrong feeling.
Well, I think it depends on the game, but I think.
You think
about,
you get?
what about like Cuphead?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Cuphead's good.
Yeah, no, I'd go with you on Cuphead.
Arion said in chat anything from Doom 2016 and even Doom Eternal, like the music in that is
Oh, there's some
metal.
really nice themes for Resident Evil actually, and like the save room, like that's really
A
nice.
few great suggestions here. You got
Stardew Valley.
Mick Gordon, Slayergate's OST from Doom, Kingdom Hearts main menu theme. What else we got here? The artist, that was .pro. So the artist, this is Umungo Bungo in our Discord. The artist Less Gravity on Spotify has many great lo-fi covers of Nintendo classics. Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Zelda. Anything from Frank Klapaki.
I'm not
Who's
sure who that
Frank
is.
Klapaki? You put in Frank Klapaki? Put it in.
Oh, hold on.
Frank Klapaki. Klepaki. Oh, here we go. Like Hell March. Command and Conquer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So for those that are here before we start, the music that we have in our welcome screen is actually an OC remix of a Command and Conquer song.
Yeah. Yeah, this was good music. Yeah, I've got the remastered collection.
You know, that was the first game I got when I joined Goa. There was that
Really?
Yeah.
The collector's edition?
Not the collected edition, but the remastered one that came out a couple of years ago.
It's very good. Very, very good. And it's classic Command and Conquer. I need to find out where my daughter just ran off to.
That's right. You know what? It's now where I'm thinking of themes that are coming back to me now. The Battlefield theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Battlefield theme. I hear it now and I get a little sad, but it's
I think everybody does.
that has a really good theme actually. And I mentioned very slightly before actually the Stardew Valley score is actually really, really nice and relaxing. Kind of reminds me of like someone mentioned Animal Crossing earlier, and I was like, oh my god, Stardew Valley, because I was playing the Stardew board game with someone, and we're like, oh, let's put the music on in the background for full effect, and it's gorgeous. It's really, really nice. I mean, I doubt that will be part of the 100 because, like you said, they're competing with televisions and
and
movie
there's
scores
only
and
so
stuff.
much music you can put in there. And,
Yeah.
and like I went through and did, you can submit 10 to vote. And by the time I was done, and I was being quite selective,
Yeah.
I had like 20 there, and I got down to like the last 15 and go, this is very, very hard.
Could you see all the submissions from before? So,
I'm not sure if I could see submissions.
well, because did you say you were surprised with like the ratio of video game to like TVs and movies, or do you mean just in general
Just
having
in
that as
general.
part of the?
Yeah, like,
I think that's
like-
really cool.
Yeah, I think it is too, and I'm glad it's that the ABC have done it this way. It's very cool to see that sort of acceptance, I guess, because like the amount of composers that go through video, even like when you're talking about the Mario themes on the Nintendo, like somebody composed that, you know. But yeah, it's really, really good. I really love it.
Someone said, Stick said, do yourself a favor and put a Deep Stone Lullaby from Destiny. And then Daz Action said, Battlefield theme is good. Unfortunately, 2042 wasn't. Natty said, I've been brainwashed by the Modern Warfare lobby music. Waiting to queue up for games got me in the zone. So understated. Arion said, Razor Mind from Payday 2. And Natty also said, the Doki Doki Literature Club theme haunts my dreams.
Is that a good haunting or a bad haunting?
And I feel like I've talked about this game so much on the podcast, but the music in Hades as well was brilliant. Yeah, I think that was one of the driving factors that kept me going with the game, because the game, like the score and the music for it was so like high intensity kind of like levels of music. We're just having a look at what everyone else is suggesting too.
There's some good suggestions in here.
Yeah. Really,
Killer
really good
Instinct
stuff.
theme. I didn't realise Mick Gordon did the Killer Instinct theme as well. Thanks for that, Gamma. So Mick Gordon's the guy who did all the Doom music for Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal.
Yeah, as Styx has asked, chuck all your musical selections up in the Discord channel, y'all.
Yeah, there's even a music review channel, I think, in there, or music recommendations.
Yeah, music recommendations. I think it's for Twitch streams so you don't get DMCA'd. But maybe we create a thread in the general channel.
Yeah.
Right, off the back of tonight's show. We'll put a thread in there off the back of it. If somebody else is watching, if you're watching right now, if you want to create a thread in the general, that'd be sick.
That's awesome.
Cool, okay. So if people want to go and see the list, where do they go? Just the ABC Classic list, or...
I'm
Sorry,
not
I
sure.
left Command and
That's
Conquer
okay.
play.
I like having that there.
There is no reason to
I'm going
apologise.
to drop the link that I found for it in our general chat.
Okay.
Because I found it through an article.
See what else they put there.
ABC Classics 100.
So it's like
music for the screen.
abc.net.au/classic/ I'm going to say 2022.
I think it says 2020. Yeah, it says 2022.
Awesome.
But yeah, if you Google Classic 100 music for the screen, you've got it.
But yeah, so good. It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, let me guess. Did Styx recommend Destiny?
Yes.
Of course he did. Because Charlie Golf has said +1 to the Destiny music, amazing scores. Which I totally agree. Like running through the raids on Destiny while that stuff's going on. Oh, heaven.
So good.
Heaven!
So bloody good. But we got a little bit more to talk about. Got a couple more things to go through tonight.
Yeah, hit us.
Next one's not so nice one. So this one also around Twitter, and Activision Blizzard put this out there. They seem to be very proud of it, but it's their diversity tool that they've developed to try and aid people into try and aid people into getting more diversity into their games.
So what do they mean by that, though? Well, like, what do they mean by getting more diversity into the game? So we're going to bring it up on screen right now, and it's essentially, if you've never seen a graph like this before, it's one of those graphs where it's a polygon. It's 7-sided. Each one of the points of the sides has like one culture, sexual orientation, gender identity, body type. And then it's got how the different shapes inside, the lines sort of move towards it's even hard to describe. Like
It's probably for gamers. It's probably something that you might have seen. Like I've seen this sort of graph in Broken Roads screenshots where they've got this morality system, and this sort of a graph. It plots points and just tries to graph different aspects of your character, and particularly in Broken Roads, it's a morality thing. So they've got different points that represent your morality, and they're just trying to show whereabouts you sit.
So how does this work? That's my question. Like
don't
what?
know.
Like how does this? Like we've got the graph here, and it's a stupid graph. It's such a dumb graph because like you've got culture, ethnicity, age, ability, body type, gender identity, sexual orientation, and the issue that I have with this graph is that there's no objective way of seeing where there are plot points based on where they've put the numbers inside the middle of the graph. So it's like what are they measuring when they're saying ethnicity?
I have so many problems with this.
Go.
I
please.
just don't. I think that I remember seeing a circulate online first, and I thought, oh, has someone like leaked this system that they're using? But like Activision Blizzard is proudly promoting this diversity tool that they've said that they developed with MIT and it has been used for COD and the new Overwatch 2. I am quite puzzled, to put it quite simply, as to why they need a tool to create authentic characters when they can't potentially hire or speak to or chat to people who come from the communities and cultures and places that they want to represent. Like, I don't understand
But I thought
why they need this.
But to me, right? So is that the point of this? Is it creating authentic characters?
Yes.
Okay.
So
because to me, you look at something like Overwatch, right? And the various characters in Overwatch, that's just about as broad a selection of characters as you can get.
you see, that's why I loved Overwatch when it first came out. I thought this is incredible. We have characters that are coming from so many different places in the world, so many different, cultures that they're bringing into the game.
Ethnicities.
Body type, everything they put on this tool.
Even
But,
sexual orientation.
like
A
there's-
gorilla.
And
A gorilla. Everybody's represented.
I don't even know where to start because I was saying earlier to you, so what measures someone's ethnicity or what measures someone's cultural orientation to have them higher up on a scale, lower compared to somebody else's? Like, what are they measuring off here? Like, none of this makes any sense. And I'm also puzzled by the fact that why can't someone who's creating these characters, because that's what they said they're using it for.
Yeah.
They're using it to create new characters for their games. Why, without using a tool, why isn't anyone taking do they not think people are going to take the initiative to research and look into creating these new characters, all the stuff that comes with it, if they want to bring diverse characters into their games? Why do they need a tool for it? Like, it just, like, for me, I personally don't understand the logic behind having something like this.
As a graph sort of guy who spends a lot of time looking at stuff like this, knowing that this has got something to do with creating characters, I get why this would make sense in a slide to a group of people, right? And what I mean by that is that if you've got a diversity slide, say for example, you're I was going to say Jeff Kaplan, he's not there anymore. If you're presenting the group of characters and you know that ethnicity, culture, like diversity is something important, and you were standing in front of a group of 500 employees and you were like, guys, let us show you in this slide how balanced and diverse this game is. You could easily pop that up there and you could see that, Zarya is 1 in the pink, you got Lucio in 2, Torbjorn's in 3, and you can see that. And what you're also seeing is that, all right, we don't have sexual orientation and we don't have culture covered, right? But the issue with regards to how this is represented is that, like, Zarya is a lesbian, right? Now, please correct me if I'm wrong there, because I might be wrong, but I'm sure Zarya represents in the LGBTQI community. Clearly, Lucio is ethnically diverse. Torbjorn, his ability type is different. and that you can't actually. Like you can't get a read on that. Like you can see like body type to the center of the polygon or whatever it happens to be. Like this is what's confusing to me. Like is the ethnicity, for example, is that meant to represent skin color? Like how do they define ethnicity?
That's one thing you're talking about. This character's supposed to be lesbian. Surely, as a sexual orientation thing, that should score pretty high then, because it's representing.
Well, it's been a while since I've played Overwatch, but if we're going to go,
it might be Tracer.
Oh, Tracer.
Tracer is,
Sorry.
but I didn't know any. It's been a while since I've played, so I can't remember what Zarya's story is. But I'm trying to find the right words because I get very like heated about this stuff because it almost becomes like I know they want to bring diversity and stuff, but it's almost like they're just trying to like tick off a box and say, yeah, we've done this. It's like, because obviously there was all the drama with Activision Blizzard, like on so many different levels to do with different terrible things that were going on in that company. Like, are they just trying to be like, yeah, okay, we've done this in our games?
Yeah, this feels like a very corporate thing that they've decided we need to be able to measure this somehow in KPIs. We're going to throw it, because Microsoft would have said, sort your shit out. And this feels like, okay, we're going to be able to measure this, so let's use this tool and see that. But it just feels so hollow and empty.
It doesn't. Well, that's the issue that I have with it, because it doesn't feel authentic at all. Why are they just going to randomly generate what this chart's going to make and be like, oh, okay, we're going to build a character off of that? Like, I just think it's common sense to be like, okay, well, let's, I feel like it could be building characters should be done in a more proper, like authentic way.
My apologies if it is something I need to apologise for, but Zarya, gay icon, not necessarily gay, has not been confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Tracer, yes. Natty says if all your characters are diverse and you don't have a cis white man, you're still missing something. I mean, that's technically true. It makes cis white male the baseline of 0, which is a little weird, and I agree, because like you can't actually have like a number representation here from 0 to black.
No,
it doesn't. And even then, if that's the case, then why isn't it 0 to white? Like it's like it makes it's weird.
I was sitting there trying to work out, because I'm a bit of a numbers guy. Like I like numbers. I'm like being able to measure things and see how they go. And I'm sitting there thinking, how the hell do you even measure this? Like the only thing I can think of is that you take a census and you go, or of a country or of the world, and go, all right, well, this percentage of people are LGBTQIA+.
LGBTQIA+.
Oh, sorry, I apologise. That one right there. This many people are from this ethnicity, this many people from this culture, and you try and match those numbers somehow into this, because otherwise, what the hell are you measuring against? It doesn't make any sense at all.
It just...
And that's my opinion as a cis white male in there. I'm just going to put that out there.
You are an elite cis white male.
That's it.
You should not be a part of this
Middle-aged,
conversation.
straight. Yeah, that's... I've got it all going for me.
Charlie Golf says, hot take, it's not a tool to represent different types of people. It's a tool to identify which market they need to expand to and market towards for more dollars, which, I mean, that is a, all right, guys, based on this graph, what are we not reaching with regards to diversity? I don't know. Maybe it's a 0-1 scale. Maybe like, but then again, like it's almost, it's like, okay, so Lucio is black, and you can see that the green on the graph representing Lucio points out towards ethnicity, right? And a little bit of culture, but out towards ethnicity, which means for them, their 0-1 scale is white and black.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what that says to me. And again, pointing that out is inherently wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Is inherently wrong. But anyway.
Sorry, I realize I've gone quiet because there's a lot of
there's a lot
about this, that like angers me, because I feel like as though as well, like, if we're talking about hypothetically what sits at the center, like, and they're bringing out this graph to, like, obviously the public and saying, this is what we're doing here.
Look how diverse we are.
Well, yeah, but then you're kind of just saying, well, these are the, like,
But are we looking that deeply? Like, and look, granted, like I'm ethnic, but I'm olive, but I'm white, right? Like I do fit into the, you know, white male, like that sort of thing, right? But you know, I've never looked at a group of characters on a screen like, you know, like Overwatch. I've never thought to myself, I've played a lot of Overwatch. I've never thought to myself, this game is not diverse enough. But in so saying, you know, now that I'm saying that out loud, maybe that's just cause enough to have a diversity graph. You know what I mean? Like, so you're kind of actually looking at it and going, let's make sure we're not missing anybody here. I mean, if you're diverse, are you looking, even saying that isn't right. You know what I mean? Because that's immediately putting it in the mind of, if you're diverse, are you looking at this group of people and going, that's not diverse enough? Where's my representation? You know? You know what? It's a touchy subject. It is actually a touchy subject. I don't think there's any right answer to it or necessarily wrong answer to it. I think pointing this out is just, this doesn't make sense to me. It's not right.
I think for
how
me...
how does that make you feel? What is it necessarily that is making you go, like, this is inherently wrong to me?
Me?
Yes.
I just feel like they're just looking for a box to tick off. I don't want to play a character just for Activision Blizzard to be like, oh yeah, tick, we've put, you know, Symmetra's an Indian character.
Yep.
Tick,
Yeah.
got it. I don't want Symmetra to be in there for Activision and Blizzard to be like, oh yeah, we ticked off this thing. I want Symmetra to be there because they want her to be in there, and because she, as a character, has value in the things that she brings.
Yeah.
Not just something on a chart that needs to be ticked off, and for Activision and Blizzard to say, oh yeah, but we've done this. Like, I think that's what angers me, and because like I'm not white. And I see that and I think about, oh God, you know, where would Activision Blizzard put me? Like, I wouldn't want a character, like, for example, if I had my own character in the game, like, just to be there just on the case of...
So you're ticking the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going...
That doesn't feel authentic to me.
All right, guys, now that we've got this character in there, we know Stormie's going to be happy. Like, that's...
Like that doesn't feel
right.
Like before this, like I mentioned before, like when I first played Overwatch, obviously this tool wasn't around, we didn't know about it. I was like, fantastic. There's people out there who have brought these authentic characters to the game, and like, you know, it's fantastic. And now I'm seeing this and seeing that they're using it for number 2. How do I know that these characters are there because they want them to be in there and not because it's just another tick in their box?
As Charlie Golf has, you know. Depends on like where they're coming at it from. If you were playing Overwatch and you saw a game that was like just 8 white people, right? Would you feel that the game is not represented well in terms of who you can choose to play as?
Yeah, I have something I look for, like, for example, like when I was playing Elden Ring and making my own character.
Yeah.
The selection of skin tones in that, like, for me, that's important. And there were so many times, like, it's like that classic, like, you know, when you're at school and you have like the colored pencil and people ask for skin color.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of thing. Like I think we need to have that range there. We like if there's, you know, I think that's why I get very excited about lead characters that we had in like Battlefront 2. We had Arden Versio. We've got the lead for Spoken and things like that, because we don't get a lot of that in a lot of the mainstream. So if like, you know, if you're saying like if a game came out and all 8 characters were all just the same, then like it's just...
Yeah, you're not being represented.
Well, but it's not even about like me being represented though. It's about other people who, like, you know, if we're going to just make a hypothetical game and say they're all heroes in this world or whatever, kind of like what Overwatch is. For anyone who's playing it, just to have a little bit of themselves on the screen, whether it be film, television, video games, that, you know, I could be here all day.
I saw a great video, and it was off the back of Encanto, which is, you know, very heavily steeped in Latin American culture, and it's the family madrigal. And hang on, my daughter. Hey, honey, who's the main character in Encanto? What's her name? With the glasses.
You know.
want to say Juliet.
No, I know.
No,
I know.
because
I'm biting my tongue.
You're biting your tongue. No, her dad married Julieta. Yep. And that's how Abuela became Abuela Madrigal. I remember the song is crazy. Mirabella. Right, Mirabella. Now, I saw a lot of videos of young Latin American girls watching that movie who saw that and felt validated, which, like, in a way that's... Mirabella? Yeah? Mirabelle. Thank you. Good work, honey. Which in itself, that's a beautiful opportunity for them to look at something that they idolize and go, I'm mean enough to be represented in a piece of pop culture that I absolutely love. Right? So like that makes sense to me. I think what I'm getting here is that it's almost like if you're a company and you know what it is that you're trying to make, if you need a graph like this, maybe the wrong people are there. Yeah. I think that's the thing. I think, yeah. And look, maybe, there's the benefit of the doubt there where it's like, all right, guys, how can we look at this quickly and bring about a tool that helps us define what it is that we're missing, so we make sure we capture as many people as possible, because we genuinely want to. I think we got to give them the benefit of the doubt that there's somebody there who genuinely wants to represent as many diverse cultures as possible.
I'm not that forgiving on this, because I think this is a corporate tool that someone up here has gone, we need something to measure this.
Yeah.
So, but it's something that I don't.
That's the thing. I don't think they should be measured. I think they need to have the people on the team to be able to. This is kind of what we were discussing earlier. Actively want to create these characters that come from a place of honesty, in their creation.
Diversity shouldn't be a KPI.
But that's exactly it. I mean, it's just like what you were saying before about people looking up to Mirabelle and things like that. It's just like, I just remember growing up and not seeing myself on the screen represented. Like Halle Berry was like the closest first one I could think of, even though I'm not African American, but it was
skin tone. I get it.
That was as close as I got at the time. And then I think about all the people that my sister has now. We've got people like Zendaya, as MJ, or we've got just an incredible cast of people that are shown on the screen now.
Well, I think what one of the most cool things that we've seen recently is forgive me because she escapes me, but the superhero we've now seen appear in the Moon Knight series. We've got our first
Scarlet
Egyptian.
Scarab,
yeah,
Layla.
We've got our first Egyptian superhero. It's that's cool.
Even I don't know if you saw I think the director of the show said that he kept her to have curly hair because that's what his little girl had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stuff like that is so important. So I think going off what both of you said, this shouldn't be a KPI. Creating diverse, authentic characters shouldn't be a box that needs to be ticked off. It needs to come from an authentic and honest place, and needs to be done properly. Sure, if you want to look at it from another point of view and say this is just their way of keeping track of what they have and haven't done. If you're having to keep track of what you have and haven't done, maybe there's another issue, a bigger issue at play there. You should be actively wanting and be excited to create these people rather than feeling like you have to fill up a certain space.
Yep. Fair enough.
Anyway.
Well said, mate.
I'm fighting the urge so hard right now to say this, Stormie, it's good. You can get off your soapbox now.
You can't, because then you'll disappear below the desk.
Because we all know what happens. I'll just...
There we go. That's awkward.
Right, you can get back on it again.
Yeah, please get back on your soapbox. That'd be nice.
Hey,
just quickly, because we're about to hit 6 o'clock Australian Western Standard, so we're about to come to the end of the show. One final piece of news, and it is magnificent.
So, Ocarina of Time has been inducted into the Video Game Hall of Fame.
Yes! Yes! It's about time! Yes!
Oh, God, yes.
In fairness, the Video Game Hall of Fame has only been going since 2015. So
it should have been there day one.
Well, no, there is another Zelda that the original Zelda is already in there. So there was a Zelda game.
So now you've got two Zeldas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty
Put
sure
all of them in.
Yeah. So this year's inductees include Sid Meier's Civilization, Miss Pac-Man, Ocarina of Time, as we said, DDR, Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
I think the original Doom and Pong.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
sorry,
That's
sorry,
2015,
sorry.
that's
Those
all
are
right.
2015. Those two.
So Dance Dance Revolution, Civilization, Mrs. Pac-Man, Ocarina of Time. I didn't even know this list existed. This is really cool. Grand Theft Auto 3, The Oregon Trail.
So
There's the other Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, 2016
the original
was
Legend of
inducted.
Zelda.
Oh, The Sims, the original Sims.
Space
Sonic the Hedgehog,
Invaders.
Space Invaders.
I mean, worthy, right? Like, these games were
all
worthy.
good.
God, I remember getting Tetris, like that Game Boy version of Tetris. I remember getting that in the original DMG 01 Game Boy pack. It was like a super pack. I got it for Christmas, like 1991, and played the absolute hell out of it.
Oh, Minecraft is here.
Well,
I'm happy now.
Yeah, Minecraft, cultural phenomenon, right? Like, it's in schools, it's leading the charge in education. Like, it's is that Mortal Kombat? Go down. It
Yep.
is Mortal
Oh,
Kombat.
why did we not bring up the Mortal Kombat theme?
Oh, poo. Yeah, nice.
But
nice.
I'm going to throw a little spanner in the works here. I don't think Animal Crossing belongs on this list
Why?
because I think there are so many.
Where's go up to Animal?
It is Animal
Here,
Crossing.
Okay, so that's the
it's-
Nintendo
it's-
GameCube version.
Yeah, inducted into 2021. Okay, so this was inducted last year above Ocarina of Time. Now, if I was going to be rating game, like I quite like Animal Crossing. It's not quite my cup of tea. I'm not huge on the whole building stuff and sandbox games, but I can see its appeal for people. But I don't think that it's a big enough series and has sold enough copies to be on this list.
Let me have a look. So 2.3 million copies worldwide.
Of the GameCube version.
Yeah, the first game in the series released on Nintendo in 2001, selling over 2.3 million copies worldwide. So if we're just talking about like sales, right? 2.3 million worldwide. Now let's go to Ocarina of Time N64. So like N64 only, and we've got Legend of Zelda. Okay. 7.6 million units worldwide. So like 4 times the amount.
Yeah. And like I
Four
say,
times the
I get-
amount.
I
But
get
there's
its
such
appeal.
different games.
They
are
are
such
and like
different
I said,
games.
And like I said, I get its appeal. I just think that it's like this is the best of every video game that's out there, and I just think that there's other games that could be there.
What I want to see from this, and I need to do some reading on this, and I'll bring the notes back next week, is I want to see if what they base this on is also what these games go on to inspire. So is there something in Animal Crossing that went on to inspire a lot of games that we are playing now? If it's got it through here.
It's just telling you more about the series and I guess it over the years.
Yeah.
It says that the New Horizons, which is a Switch game, broke the console game record for most digital units sold in a single month, selling more than 31 million copies worldwide as its virtual version of neighborly sociability. Good God. Sociability, engaged players, isolated in the midst of a global pandemic.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I bought it because when that came out, we were just going into lockdown here. It was that and Doom Eternal. Those
On the same day, because I got
yeah.
my copy of Animal Crossing the same day, and the line in the shop was so long for both of them. It was so good.
But if that's everything to go by, and you know that like they're talking about the impact that it had during COVID and stuff like that, then what should be actually be inducted is New Horizons, and not
not the
because of the
rest.
way that it sold and because of the impact that it had and because of what it did for people, in isolation and
But once again, I think if you're talking about a Hall of Fame, a game that came out 2 years ago is too new for a.
I think it's
for
too
a
new
Hall
as
of
well.
Fame.
Yeah.
Oh, good to
Interesting.
see Ocarina of Time in there. Beautiful.
That's it. About time.
All right, should we bugger off?
I think so.
Lovely.
But not every, I'm going to be sticking around. I'm going to do a quick nuts and bolts. I've got an interview with one of the
you
ANZPL
really?
players.
Ooh.
Yeah, Dastardly
go.
from the Perth Panthers, who are sitting third on the ladder.
Come on, you Panthers!
Let's go. So, yeah, I'll have that coming up in nuts and bolts in a little bit. So stick around for that. But,
Thanks to everybody who hung around in chat tonight. Thanks for all your subs. Thanks for all your cheers. We really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. And thanks for hanging around and joining the chat and the conversation. Natty, get better. Natty's not too well. That's why
Get
she's
well
not on Nuts and
soon.
Bolts tonight. Great to see you guys.
Nice to see you guys too.
Yep. And yeah, let's get out of here. Big thank you to Aussie Broadband for their support as always. And thank you to my daughter who's been very well behaved tonight.
she has.
You've been so good.
Mac is on the way home.
Hey.
Yeah, girl.
Winning.
And Minecraft on the weekend.
Woohoo.
Even
Huge.
better.
Huge. All right.
Bye.
Later, everybody. Catch us in the Discord. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. You can do a little bit more though.
You can.
Hit us up on our YouTube. Drop us a subscribe. Is that how the cool kids say it?
Exactly right, mate.
Smash that
Boom.
subs button.
Smash that subs button!
And yeah, you get to enjoy more Goa content.
Do it.